Hi, I'm Deborah Shapiro and I'm a collage artist. With our online art festival, I want to give you some tips on making your video so we can make it as simple and as easy as possible. Because the most important thing is for you to sell whatever you make, whether it's art, jewelry, whatever. And with any marketing or any video that you do, you always have to have like one message you want to communicate. And so I want you to keep that in mind. The purpose of your video is to sell what you have. So don't try to get into your own head about being on camera or anything like that. Always think about show off your products, show what you make. That's the most important thing. So as far as production, if you have your own professional equipment at home, not many people would, but if you do, you know how to use it and you know how to get it off your camera, go ahead and use that. I would say probably for 98% of you, you don't have that. So I have this in my pocket, trying to make this easy. Just use your phone. Most phones all look great unless you have a really old phone. The video will be fine for it. Don't worry, you don't need 4K or anything like that. At least we do want HD, and pretty much all newer phones do nothing but HD, so that should not be a problem for you. Now, I don't want you to get bogged down by technology. So if all you have is your phone, use your phone. But if you want to make it just like 100% better, get yourself a microphone. I got this from Best Buy. It was like not even $20. I think it was close to $20. And it goes right into like the bottom of your phone. You don't have to switch anything on or anything like that. And it's going to make your audio sound so much better. Because the problem with the phone, every time you move it away from you, your voice is going to kind of drift away. And we don't want people who are watching us thinking that, oh, you're done with the video because they can't hear you very well. So this little microphone makes a huge difference. So I really recommend you getting that. Another thing is to get yourself a tripod. I have one right here. Now, of course, being a videographer, I've got a bunch sitting around. I imagine photographers have a lot sitting around. But if you don't have one, this makes a big difference, especially if you're doing it by yourself. And I do all my videos by myself. If you go to, I have a YouTube channel. I do time-lapse videos. Of course, I was a videographer, so it makes sense that I would do that. But having a tripod really helps because being steady, we don't want that kind of that Blair Witch look where everything's like shaky and everything. So having a tripod really helps. I saw on Amazon you could get a tripod for like $20. That's pretty cheap. So if you think about it, you could get a microphone and a tripod for like $40. That's less than what you spend in applying to art shows. But if that's still, if you don't even want to spend that, just use your phone because we want you to get your video out and we want to get your products in front of people. Something else I'm buying for my tripod is this little device that you could clip your phone to. It was like $7, found it on Amazon. But when I was looking, I also found that they have a number of tripods for $20 that also comes with that piece already on there. So depends what you need. Look for that if you're going to do that. But also you could compromise. That's why I'm holding this little cup because it hasn't arrived yet from Amazon and I wanted to make a video. So what I used, I just put this on top, cut a little slit in it, and I slid my phone into this. You're going to see in a different video where I did my little setup, like how we would like to see you guys do yours, and you'll hear me take it out of there. It doesn't sound great, but use what you got. Do what you have to. Sorry about it, I just popped out of the scene there. That's another thing with this. We want this to appear live. You don't need editing, you don't need graphics, voiceover, anything like that. We want this to appear like someone just came in your booth and they're talking to you. So, if you make a mistake, no big deal. It's just like when you're talking to a friend. You might forget what you're talking about at times. That's okay, just say so. It really helps if you have somebody help you. They could hold the camera while you talk about your products and move around. But if not, you could do it by yourself. And when you watch my video, I did it all by myself. So, and I did it with my iPhone. Of course, I did have the tripod at the beginning and my microphone. But you can do this. I know you can. So let's talk a little bit about the content. These videos, right now, we're looking at about 10-minute video. And to be realistic, we don't expect anybody to really watch the full 10 minutes unless they really want your product. But it's almost like being at an art festival. When people walk by your booth, some people are going to come in, stay for a while. Others are going to be in there for like just a minute and leave. Other people are just going to walk right by. So we want to give you an opportunity to show off as much of your stuff as you can. So we expect people to probably watch the first 30 seconds of it, and that's going to be really important. After that, you know, if they like what they see and like what they hear, they might stick around and watch a little bit more. Or they might just start scrolling through the video, you know, looking for, they're interested, but they may not see exactly what catches their eye. So they might start scrolling through there, see if something really does pop for them, and then they'll watch it from there. So how we would like you to do this is, at the very beginning, people like to make eye contact. They'd like to see who they're talking with, but you don't have to be on camera the entire time like I'm doing right now. What we would like you to do is just introduce yourself, say what you make, what you have available, and how can they buy it. So what I did is I introduced myself as Deborah Shapiro. I described myself as a magazine collage artist, and I described what that is because most people have no idea what that is. And then I mentioned I had originals and prints because we want people to know, like, what can they buy, you know, from you. And then finally I told them where they could buy it on my website. So if you have an Etsy website, how can they possibly buy what they see? After that, grab your camera and then go over to your first product and start videotaping it, or just start talking about it, actually. And that's something, when you set up your booth, think about what order you're going to be talking about different products on there. Because what we want to avoid is any kind of quick movements or any kind of zooms or you know, swoosh pans or anything like that, because we don't want to get people sick. So the easiest way is put it all in order, so your camera movements are very slow and just kind of go from one to the other. And also helps if somebody else was with you, you just kind of go right in order with it. I know some of you have a studio, so you could do it in your studio. We want it to feel like it's an art festival, though. So don't do it like in your bedroom or your kitchen or in a garage. You know, try to make it look professional. And if that means you have to set up your booth like I did, set it up. Right now I'm in my driveway right in front of my garage doing this. So try to give it that look or that feel so people feel like they're walking through an art festival. We're going to have a little sheet that's going to give you some tips on what to talk about for your video. Just kind of help you in case you don't know what you're going to talk about for 10 minutes. But it should be easy because you're going to go over every product or as many products as you can. When I did it, I only got halfway through what I have in my booth. But what you want to do with each one, you want to give what we call an establishing shot. You want to kind of stay on your shot so people could absorb it and see the whole thing before you start zooming in or looking at different things. And move your camera in slowly. You know, if you're going to show them something, just be very slow and purposeful with your movements. If you have jewelry or something, maybe put your camera on the tripod like this is, and the camera, let's say this is a piece of jewelry, you know, maybe bring it in close, you know, to show somebody rather than you moving the camera all the time. So that way it kind of keeps it steady and keeps it easier to look at. Now, throughout the video, we want you to mention where they could buy it several times, because like I said, I don't really expect anyone to watch the full 10 minutes. So they might zoom through the video and then say, oh, you know, they really like that. So every so often bring up the fact that they could buy it on your website or wherever they're going to buy it. And at the end, just thank everyone. I was only on at the very first, 20 seconds or so, introducing myself. And then after that, I showed all my artwork. I never came back on. And that's perfectly fine to do. Work with whatever works for you. Now, another thing, since you have everything all set up, and I know it could be a pain setting up your tent or your display, consider doing a couple takes of it that you could use for future ones too. And that's what we call just kind of get it into the can. So do maybe 2 or 3 of them And what I would suggest for each one, maybe rearrange your tent so it looks like it's a, it's a totally different day, totally different experience. So if we do this like a month or 2 months later, you already have it already done and you don't have to set it up again. You've done all the work, so do it all at one time. So if you have any questions, you could contact us through the Facebook page there. But please don't let the using the camera or being on camera intimidate you. It's okay to make mistakes. As you can see here, this is just one straight video shot. Even though I'm mumbling a little bit here and there, that's okay, because we want people to relate with you. Just be authentic, be who you are, and people understand that and relate with you. And I wish you luck. I can't wait to see all your videos.